Get ready for the ultimate adrenaline rush. Join us as we count down the 10 most insane poker hands ever in history. Brace yourself for jaw-dropping bluffs, epic showdowns, and moments that will leave you speechless. Don't blink because you won't want to miss a second of this poker spectacle.
And then Amy flats the bottom of Queen at hearts. And David in for cheap from the big blind with 7-5 of spades. That's the kind of hands you want to have to take on the aces. Well, Queen 9 deuce. Amy flops top pair with a backdoor flush draw. So there's aces still out in front. David with nothing but the backdoor spade draw. And look at this, checks all the way around. And Queen on the turn. This is
sort of checks that flop.
He checks and checks again, and Ami's going to bet, and there's see Isildur. I don't think gives him credit for checking back an ace on this board, so he's going to, I guess, play his 2 check calls. 700,000 the bet.
So you Dutch or German then or something?
Yeah, you can't read
Dutch or German.
Wow.
Right. He's going for the min check raise. He wants to join in with these crazy raises. Obviously feeling a player like Ami's not going to fold anything for 700,000 more that he's bet for value.
It's so strange. Amy can't even really love it, I don't think. I mean,
Right.
assume he's going to call and see what happens.
Does indeed make that call. 4.8 in the pot. He's 3.4 behind. Oh my word! What a river for Isildur.
That and just snap
He moves
all in.
all in.
The check raise on the turn.
It's funky.
It's kind of like the limit hold'em play where you raise to make it so that the next street you can get a cheaper card.
Right.
So the river, he'd get to showdown cheaper by doing that check raise. If he checks again, he might not have to pay much or anything.
Well, what he did do was check raise with 2 outs, ping them on the river, and now he has moved all in. Amy in a world of hurt here.
Could see him getting away from this one. Not saying it's easy or that he even should, but I can see it happening.
I don't know how he can. What's Isildur supposed to have here?
The line is super funky.
Amy has, I was just saying, I mean, basically the best hand he's ever got here. Check back Queen 9-2. I don't think with anything better. And you're playing Isildur. Right, throwing in a few time chips.
No, I think I've had way too many water's good.
Does Isildur take this line with a queen?
Well, I don't think I've ever seen this line, period.
There we go. It's so weird.
Maybe he does it with 9s full or deuces full. Or ace queen. Wouldn't expect him to have aces. There's also a chance that the turn was a weird bluff, and now he just has a pair of aces and
Wow.
thinks it's good.
Amy lets it go. He doesn't think it can be a bluff.
Incredible.
Isil with King 6. He comes in for a raise. Pavel has Queen 7 suited in the big. Can't see him going anywhere.
He raises to 35 million. Pavel calls. Nice door card, and both
Wow.
players have flopped a pair.
See, Isildur does the backdoor flush draw as well with his king. And he keeps the aggression up as he has done every time he's flopped any hand in the heads-up play. Pavlikov, of course, has backdoor diamonds. So he will surely call.
Now, if he catches a diamond on the turn, he might want to play the hand far more aggressively. Obviously, if a heart comes, Isildur will be in the same spot, currently winning, and it is the ace of diamonds on the turn.
Well, I imagine Pavel will check this and Isildur checks back.
Pavel,
Unless Isil thinks he can get his opponent to call with a worse hand. He is cutting out a big bet.
this is a big pot developing here. Pavel with third pair nut flush draw. Isildur putting a sizable bet there, 105,000. Currently winning with his king.
Pavel obviously will call here. Does have a pair and the backdoor nut flush draw. No reason for him to fold.
It wouldn't surprise me if he raised.
Well, I think raising just makes all the bluffs fold and every better hand still calls. Oh, he doesn't. I don't think he's thinking Isildur's necessarily going to bet this big with just the king. If he knew that, he would raise, but I think he's expecting Isildur to check back.
Wouldn't the ace have been a good card just to rep it though?
And, well, he's got a pair. If he had no pair, then I think he might try and bluff. But Pavel does have the losing hand. I suspect this will go check, check. Pavel trying to work out how he missed that one. He's desperate to get to showdown. So he could rep hearts here.
All in.
He does rep hearts.
Wow!
He moves all in. What a play. What a play. He moves all in. How can
Surely
Isildur call?
Isildur can't call here. He's thinking it through in his head. He's thinking he called me on the flop. If he caught the ace on the turn, surely he would have bet.
Well, it's hearts or nothing.
Raised. Yes, he's checking the chip count.
Surely he can't call this. Just thinks there's no way Pavel check calls 100 million with a flush draw.
In actual fact, he did. He had the nut flush draw in diamonds
Well,
and a pair.
Well, the problem is the flush draw that he's most likely to check call with would be the king high flush draw for a pair of kings, and Isildur has that blocked. That is what is playing into Isildur's mind here. If he had the king of spades, he would just have to fold this. He does have pretty much the only flush draw.
He is
Pavel could have
seriously
called with.
considering calling here, James.
I can see why. I can see his reasoning, and he's right. There's what hand does he call with a flush draw? Could of course be the nut flush draw.
What's your feeling? I think he's going to call.
On edge here.
What do you think at home? I mean, like, this is phenomenal.
So close. Pavel willing him to fold.
This is for the title.
Doesn't want to call, but his gut's telling him. Only the nut flush plays this one.
Wow! What a goal! That's phenomenal!
Oh my God!
That is the greatest goal I've seen live here in Rosmerdorf. You saw it. Isildur made the call of the tournament.
Oh my word! Isildur, with that call, is the Party Poker Millions Germany champion.
That is phenomenal, James. I tell you what, I'm so glad I was in the commentary booth when that happened.
Oh, we shall see. You know how long these hand-for-hand bubbles can last when we get there. Well, Rayan with not just the chip lead, but queens on the first
They
hand.
want us to hold them on these markers? Okay, I probably didn't do that. Sorry.
Raise 250.
For what, 3 seconds?
Yeah, even less.
3 second up.
But until you get told differently, like you can like sneak to that wall and like even take a picture, you know, until they tell you to move, you can do whatever you want. And in front of me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, Okay.
On a turn with 6, 7 of diamonds in the button, he's going to peel.
Like I'm wearing a jacket on the beach, like
Oh, no,
a
no, we
crazy
don't.
person.
Can I?
Yeah. yeah, you look like a psycho who goes to the beach in a cashmere.
Doing well. Not looking too bad now. 6, 7, 9, bottom 2 pair. He checks it on over to Rayan, the opener.
The air is blowing.
A wet looking board. One that one pair never looks too great on. But with queens and the queen of hearts, expect a bet nonetheless.
That's 425.
And a very healthy sizing. 85% pot on such a coordinated board. And a routine.
Raise 1
Some
million.
fear on a ball like this with bottom 2. Not great to get too much in. But he's going to check raise. 1.1 million. So many bad turn cards for him. Thought maybe a check call with bottom 2. Nice to have some strong, very strong hands when you check call. Bottom 2 could be one, but of course, can't be wrong check raising. So many draws he wants to check raise with. Got to check raise some strong hands. Bingo for Rayan on the turn, top set, and looks like a brick to Rutian. There's already 2.7 million chips in the pot. He's going to do some damage here.
$1,300,000.
$1.3 the bet. Rayan now with a decision. A raise would be less than pot. There's not just cards that will kill his action, so cards that could beat him if he were just to call here. Interesting spot. Be disastrous to call and have a scare card come out and not stack a set. At the same time, to let a flush draw come in, beat him. At the same time, jamming probably scares off a hand like this, or has a very good chance to do so at least.
All in.
Raise all in.
He does move all in, and wow, Rutian, this is a pretty disgusting spot. He's shown a lot of strength, and with bottom 2, I think can get away from it. I mean, there are some hands that draws that he's ahead against. Maybe he's up against a hand like Jack 10 of hearts, or even just Ace 8 of hearts, something like that. Potentially play this way.
10 seconds.
He's going to have better hands he's check raised with, that's for sure. All his sets. Could have flopped straight.
You only missed one hand.
You said 40 minutes already.
It was.
40, it's not at 30? I mean 40?
It was 40.
It was 40.
40. It's like we started.
It's tough though, he's put in 2.5 million chips already in this hand, just 5 million behind. At the moment, that's enough for him. Well done. Very well done. Easy to say sat here watching to fold. Harder to do it in the moment.
May I have a towel wrap on you, please?
No braces for Laszlo. Phoenix gonna flick in the call with the 9s. Austin gonna get out of there with the 10-8.
Felt like 55, I might have fold, but lucky or lucky maybe.
I love Simba, man. Super chatty. 3 ways to a flop. Jack in the window. Queen, Jack, Deuce, Rainbow, Espen with the best of it. This hand should be over and done with. No more mercy saying, where is Gazzy? Gazzy is going to be joining me. Taking it in turns to kind of hold down the fort for obvious reasons. We don't want to burn ourselves out. So Espen knuckling it on over to D-Nex, who's fired out 250 into 450. Daniel has potentially found the hand he could get to fold, not necessarily on this street, as Espen does flick in the call. 6 of hearts on the turn. SPR of 1. See what D-Nex brings here. Fresh off that super high roller bowl victory out in Vegas, 3.3 million. And 4 D-Negs over there. 6-time bracelet winner, looking for bracelet number 7, knuckles it back. And everything on the flop does brick, all the ace 10s, ace kings, king 10s of the world. See if Jorstad comes with some form of blocker bet, as we've lost someone else on the outer table. Now 7 off the money here. SOP Europe Platinum High Roller final day will be crowning a bracelet winner today. Jorstad knuckles for a 3rd time. See what the GG ambassador brings.
I feel like I'm just going to lose to a jack.
Oi, oi, spot on read, Negranu.
Good.
Spot on read. Knuckles it back.
I'm leaving.
That's kid poker for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Hog Dog says I'm famous, Mom. Don't think we ever met. I'm in the Martini's teammate in PMU poker team. Nice, man. If I see you at Prague, we can give each other a high five. As Deeb comes with the call. 8-8-4. No immediate help for Deeb. He does have the best hand, however.
80.
Parson comes with min. Comes with call. Tons of cards to increase his equity if he is behind. We can see that he's ahead. I'm also a single white dude who only watches poker. Check, check. Sean Deeb can't catch a break. This one's gonna go chop, chop. Unless something crazy happens on the river. Gonna shove and a wry smile from Parsonen.
750 or something.
Now Sean knows the score. Now he knows it's a chop. Pop Brown says, what's the delay? 30 minutes? My mods are too good. Might look like an easy call for Parsonen here, but it is still 20% of his stack, and stack preservation is really important at this stage of a tournament. You know, full money, he's got a healthy stack. He doesn't want to be dragged into the middle of the pack. Does elect to fold. Let's go, Sean Deeb.
Bryn with Queen Jack suited in the small blind. 5-handed, very good hand, but obviously out of position. He does call fairly standard there, right, Sander?
Yeah, fairly standard, although nowadays you see a lot, especially in the high rollers, that people don't want to just call from the small blind because you give the big blind a really good price. So some of the guys just 3-bet all their hands in the small blind they want to play.
But one of the Queen Jack suited, one of the hands, really, it's up there in the hands he doesn't mind playing 3-way though,
yeah,
right?
for sure. Although that's kind of dangerous. If you only play hands that you wouldn't mind playing 3-way, the other guys will catch on to that.
Well, Bryn has flopped a gut shot. Stefan and Stevie both with ace high. Stevie's ace queen high way out in front though. And this is a board that obviously Stevie will know he's ahead of a fade 80% of the time, but Bryn Well, Bryn can obviously have a king, but also a lot of his hands are going to check call here. But does he still have to bet this because it's three-way and protect his hand?
I think he can do whatever. I like a small bet because people will have to play really honest against this. So everyone's hands will be fairly face up after this bet. And if you think they will call enough worse hands, you can just check it down after this, and you still make a few hands that have 2 cards that can hit fold. And apparently you can get called by Queen Eye as well. So
yeah, he does get called by the gut shot, which misses. Stefan folded his ace high. And Stevie now with another decision. See, there are a lot of, as you're saying, you know, Bryn does have a lot of kings in this spot. So if Bryn were to put out a bet here,
immer noch so wie vorhin, 2-3, Dom ist rausgeflogen.
Not a great spot for Stevie.
Just want to say, I think if he bets, he should go quite big here, because he either has like a really strong hand like top pair or better, or a missed hand like Queen Jack, Jack 10. Steven doesn't have the best hand to call here with, because he has the queen.
Right. Blocks some of the hands he wants his opponents to have, which he's saying. A hand like Queen Jack with a backdoor flush draw, Queen Jack of diamonds no longer possible.
Yeah.
As Sander pointed out, 45 seconds in this event. I think purely because the event was scheduled not to have a shot clock, but then the guys wanted it and it was a compromise. They give them 45 seconds.
I think it's really much more fun. Oh wow.
Well, he does make the call, and he will receive the good news. Ace Queen being the queen high of Bryn Kenny.
What a beast.
Maxine kicks this hand off. Ace 3 suited under the gun. He's going to fold. Kelly setting a personal best for hands folded. David moves it in. Just over 2 big blinds. Ace 4. Chandler's here, imagine will call this one.
Yeah, 340,000 total.
Does indeed call. Sai looks down at 5, deuce off. Can't see him calling, even getting this price. Such a bad hand. Especially. You've still got to play a side pot potentially. Long time about it, and does eventually decide that the price is just too good to fold.
One player all in, heads up.
So David all in for the 1.2 million chip pot, and well, I think well, that's a good flop for him. Paired his ace, but Chamracy with bottom 2 pair. I imagine he's going to bird out here against Sai. Try and build some sort of side pot, protect his hand against potential draws. But I think he knows, given how long it took Sai to call pre-flop, he's not going to have any of this. Well, an ace isn't enough just yet. He needs an ace or a running pair up. Running club's also an option. That, not much use to him. Just the ace will do it, and there it is. Reduced to 2 outs, heading to the river. David up to 1.2 million. And was halfway out of his seat. Jacket on.
Service for me?
Bryn with ace-9 on the button. Ready standing.
They're close in chips. So he has elected just to peel, which I think is the smarter option. You also allow Leon sometimes to come in from the big blind with King 5 off, but the hat on, the King's Casino hat, the shades, it's pretty intimidating.
Yeah, even, wow, what a flop this is for Aldo. Ace-9 gives Bryn Kenny top 2 pair.
Ace of clubs for Bryn as well.
Timothy with the flush draw. Yep. Very valid point there. Bryn does have the backdoor club draw.
Fortunately for Timothy at this point, it's ace high and not 9 high with flush draw, because Timothy he's not going to have a lot of hands that want to check raise for value, so he can't have that many bluffs. Obviously, you want to remain balanced against these tough opponents. And obviously with king high, you know, you are just dominating lower flush draws and stuff just now anyway, so you don't need to raise them off. And bingo.
Well, a huge call there. We see Timothy does improve to the flush, but Bryn not out of it yet, top 2, and now the nut flush draw himself. Right, is it a card Timothy should be bluffing at fair frequency here with the lead?
Not really, I think, because it's not, when he check calls flop, he's not going to have a super high amount of hands that want to bluff. I mean, he could possibly have like king jack with the king of clubs or something that's going to float to a small flop bet, but overall his range is going to want to do a lot of checking. So in order, like if he has ace 10 of diamonds here, he doesn't want to put any chips in. So he's going to check that hand, so you want to check your strong hands in order to... Yeah, I mean, I think realistically it's really tough to build a check raise bluff range here. So as a result, you have to check call like with a very high frequency.
And cool, he does. So 570 in the pot, heading to the river.
See what the river is.
Wow!
Oh my God!
This is like the scene around us.
Oh no, this is. I mean, poor Timothy.
So Bryn improves to a full house.
I wonder what Bryn does here. If he might just like. I mean, this is a card that's it's going to favor Timothy slightly more, because Bryn's not going to be betting his like middle pairs so often. Whereas Timothy can have like.
He bets 420,000.
And Timothy's going to be all in here, I would imagine, unless there's some kind of ICM considerations. Maybe just call.
He does just call, losing the absolute minimum with that hand.
It's a very good just call. I mean, I think...
Mr. Ivy got the aces. Limps in. Sam checks back king out of clubs. Rut-row. This could be a big one, Jeff. We got top set against the nut flush draw and a pair.
Action. Top set Ivy, no big deal. What a board though. I mean, I guess for Greenwood, you know, it's a little unlucky. He's got that pair flush draw. He's got to think, you know, against the set, this is like the worst hand he could be against. Even like ace queen, his 8 would be live. But or you know, ace jack, he's got the whole shalada, but here he's really just drawn to that flush. And for Ivy, a bit unlucky. Oh well, that actually now that's a sight you love to see if you're a Phil Ivy fan.
Quads for Ivy. Greenwood still with that nut flush draw. Remember, in this game, flush beats a house, so we can see Greenwood 0%, but he's going to think he's still doing okay in this.
Gotta love it. Slip some rope, you know, in case some. I mean, just pretty special stuff here. This is, I mean, if flush runs out, if a club were to come, oh my goodness gracious, come on!
Wow, we have quads versus nut flush in short deck.
Wow, this is honestly, I mean, is there any chance it doesn't?
Just goes in, right?
It's going in. How could it not go in?
If Ivy bets, Sam's going to raise, Ivy's going to jam.
This is insane. And Sam is thinking about Vegas and the Mirage, and this is the one that you don't get there. You're on your way and you don't get to in the door somehow. This is, I mean, there's just no other. I mean, it's just none. There's hand combination 1, right? All the other ones are houses.
Right.
But at the same time, yeah, I guess you might think Phil could have a lower flush, but a full.
Right.
You know that a full house doesn't beat.
But you're going to raise up here, and you're going to get
raised, and you think maybe Phil has like the
sick,
queen high or whatever, not a flush. Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to like it when he gets jammed on.
He's probably. I don't even think he thinks long. Wow.
Obviously, you lose the 10-9 of clubs, and you lose the aces. Those are the 2 hands you can lose to here.
And if you're Phil, you lose.
Same for Phil, he loses to the 10-9 of clubs and the king 10 of clubs. I mean.
No, king 10 of clubs, right? That's it.
Sorry, yeah, king 10 of clubs only.
So there's one hand you lose if you're Phil, and
there's 2 if you're Sam.
Yeah. So it's the biggest cooler you'll see, really.
Sam's going to feel sick, but he can't fold. Quads.
Wow.
Have some of that.
Wow. What a hand. I mean, this is a sick 3-handed, 1 versus 2 stack in the biggest cooler you're going to see possible.
I know you just came from some satellites, so people are still going to be entering this tournament. And of course, a lot of players who busted out for the first couple of day ones and far away tomorrow morning.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're only getting, what do you get? You get like 25 big blinds?
A little bit more.
Okay.
30.
I saw our mate Carl Froch. He's salad his way in.
Nice.
So hopefully he can get it done. Make the final table. So there'll be 80,000 people watching that. Just when he beat George Groves at Wembley.
He partook in some golf this morning, Midi. We were waiting for you, but you didn't turn up.
No, I was impressed, mate.
Rochi was there. Good little golf day today.
It is quite good, the golf here, isn't it?
It is very good. There's not a lot wrong with this resort, Midi.
No.
Alright, so Josh opening Alexi flats, Gerald flats, Chris completes in the big blind end. Well, Alexi flops a set now, just as Gerald flops top pair. And Gerald being queen 10 off on the button here. Do you think he's just seen enough of Alexi smashing around in pots that he wants to get involved?
Yeah, I think you got to defend your bone quite wide, and I mean, I think this is probably a little step out from the Sims, but I think against these guys, well, Alexi, maybe he fancies his chances. Fortunately, though, he's going to get burnt.
This is a bad card.
Oh,
that is not a
no.
bad card. That's the end of Gerald bar a 4-outer on the end.
That's me, you, Gerald, and the dolphin swimming tonight, mate.
And Alexi's gone big, 3 into 390. Gerald only has 610.
You hate to see this.
I mean, he's loving life, right? He's got top 2 pair. How can you be beat here? I mean, I'm not sure what the tank's about. Wow.
I mean,
he's just cool with 300k back.
I mean, all the money's going to go in this time anyway, but... Oh! That's good for the EV graph, isn't it? You don't want to put that extra 300 in as a...
Wow, Alexi gets the bad news, just the running queens. Wow, Gerald's face. I can't work that out. How he didn't just
well, if he'd have put it in the turn, his EV graph would have been like a minus however many big blinds.
Don't do it. Red, flashing red.
It's getting good.
These guys, do these guys look like fine athletes, or do they look like they are done?
Must be a really good hand. Yeah, he's balanced.
Sondheim's smiling, but he can barely move an eyelash. Tuna's sleeping. Tuna is asleep. This man will not play his best poker during this hand. Let's all agree.
Mr. Ronnie Kaiser, ladies and gentlemen. 19 million online.
Little chance here for Stefan maybe to pad his pockets a wee bit more before he leaves.
On 7 different accounts.
Akin with the 10-9 suited.
Did he change his name?
It seems like we're missing a letter. I'm pretty sure it's Akin, and
we had
10 minutes before the end.
No, his name has always been Akin though, because they've been apparently we've been mispronouncing it. Oh
wow.
Boy.
There's all sorts of scenarios where this goes in. I imagine it's going to go bet cool, because
Let's just change
Akin hasn't got too aggressive with his draws.
Let's just change his name to Toast.
Ooh, cheeky check.
Ronnie the collude.
Hard for him not to bet when checked too.
What happens if he's playing on his 3 accounts and the rate's just taking all his money?
That's the only way you can win 19 million on that. You can't possibly win that.
I'm glad I found out that Akin's last name is Tuna, or else how could we say the tuna melt?
Oh wow!
They like paying themselves, you know.
Stefan
stupid things, you know.
laying his trap.
And then
Check again. Imagine on pretty much every turn.
Forward the pay.
That one is going to get him in some trouble.
It's going to be check raise, isn't it?
Yeah, I think if Akin bets here, you just have to check raise, because he's only got 41k back, so anything he bets.
Yeah,
he may even lead by the looks of it. No, he can't.
Lead because you don't want to give him a free card with any diamond and a pair, to pocket pair diamonds, stuff like that.
Yeah, but I mean that is an argument you could make. It's the way Akin's played. He hasn't barreled too many times.
You know better. You shouldn't shit there.
But no, you should play it as a check, and he has. And Stefan's got to be a little bit worried, because like I say, Akin hasn't, you know, bet off too many times in these spots that we've seen, but this hand's so strong.
Well, even if you're never ever folding the river, or you're folding the river if the diamond hits.
That's not a bad one. No, I mean, you're still better off playing as a check call than it is a raise, just because you allow him to bluff. But at the same time, he's just not liking it as you would against lots of other people.
We might put it to the board tomorrow that we should sack him for playing this hand this bad.
And this is Akin's going to shove here, and that's that.
I think
bad for
I think we should put a big late.
Just like I was behind the cooler, there is one.
Oh. He just flops the nuts. Trying to get that
Poor guy.
And that's a really rough way to end, because he's had some really great flashes, Akin, but at the end of the day, I just think he was